I would never advise anyone to go around the back end of a horse, especially if you don't know them. And I do know G, but I just hadn't seen him in a while, so we just play it by ear. So time to tack him up, and I can honestly say tacking G up was what I imagined tacking a toddler up would be like, because he was moving, like he wanted to see Sunny, so he was like leaning to the left, and then every time I moved he was like moving to the right, and then back and forward, so I actually didn't end up getting the saddle on well enough. Like, the saddle was not in a good position, but I only realised that again once I got on, as you'll see in a minute. But safety first, helmet on, always recommend wearing a helmet. I personally have never ridden without one, only when I do like pictures or bareback things with horses I trust, but that's just personal preference. I would not recommend it. But trying to put his bridle on as well, as you can see, he is so tall. So G is 17.2, but he's big, like he feels bigger than that because he's so strong and muscular. So he was like wafting his head everywhere, and it was actually quite difficult to tack up. My arms were exhausted after this. But he was actually quite sweet because he was just distracted by Sunny. So look at that beautiful face. He is a force to be reckoned with. He is just, I'm still in awe of that horse, and he's my horse. So yes, I got on him here, which he was very good. Like, he used to back up and be quite naughty when getting on, but since he's been training, he's really well behaved. He's a good boy. So it's very easy just to get on, and my plan was to just do walk, trot, canter, some stretch, give him a leg loosener, and just give him the benefit of decent riding in a warm-up. So as you can see, the saddle is sat quite far back. You want it a bit more forward than that. You want it to sit at the right point on their back. Obviously I'm not a saddle fitter, but I know when it doesn't feel right after years of experience. So I hopped off and rearranged it because it's not fair on him. I don't want to hurt his back, and also it feels very, very uncomfortable to ride when it's wrong. So yeah, take two, and as you can see, that is my little dog watching us. She's my little trainer. Oh, she's so cute. That's Dottie. I think she knew we were talking about her. So I started off with a nice walk. He was feeling a little bit fresh because the other horses were going out. So as you can see, he was like, hey, I want to see the other horses. But literally, that's about as bad as it got. I wouldn't even call that naughty, but that's as naughty as he got on the first day back. So I'm actually editing this on, I think it's day 3 today, and he's got better and better every day. But on this day, I just gave him a nice walk. Again, look at him. He was looking at the other horses like, hey, and give a big dinosaur whinny and just feeling good. He was feeling himself. That's okay. I don't mind that. Like, I never mind what a horse will do as long as I know I'm going to be safe. I mean, it's sometimes hard to judge, but I'm pretty relaxed at the minute. You can tell when a horse wants to get you off or wants to be naughty, and G is not one of those. So I said I wanted to go into a stretch, but as you can see, he's not really stretching because he was feeling a little bit frisky. So what we call this in my dressage terms is, it's called a halfway house. He's not up and collected and on the bit like nice and uphill, and he's not stretching. So it's kind of a halfway house. This is kind of the outline you have more at lower levels. I think I used to ride him at elementary and do this kind of outline, maybe a little bit less round. But yeah, I started with a halfway house because I wanted to stretch him. I didn't want to just pick him up and go straight into anything fancy, but I was also listening to him, and he felt a little bit distracted, so didn't quite feel like I could stretch him out fully yet. But I did a nice trot, and I did loads of changes of rein. I probably could have done a little bit more side to side, like leg yields and stuff like that, but I was just trying to get a feel for him. When you've not ridden a horse in over 8 months, it gets quite difficult because you half remember him, but you half don't. So yeah, so anyway, I went into canter, and I was just doing little forward and backs, transitions within the pace, which are very, very good for horses at his level. You'll see in a minute his outline gets nicer because I just slowly built him up, and his outline goes from being a bit over round to up a little bit more. And before he went away, he couldn't really do changes, so now he's winging some changes in. He was